Welcome back to Out of the Rough, Provisors Edition. I'm with Gary Saenger. Gary Saenger is the founder and leader of Saenger & Associates, and also group leader with Provisors. Welcome back.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, your job is to help recruit executives. Tell us about specifically what you do with your day job.
My day job is I founded and run Saenger Associates. We're a retained executive search firm. So in other words, my client is the corporation, typically a middle market corporation. And through relationships, I will get the opportunity to be retained by them to go find them a new general manager, go find them a new head of sales, go find them a new director of HR.
And so when people have a gap, or when people anticipate a gap, they call you to find the best talent out there, because their core competency isn't necessarily finding the best people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Example, lunch today, fellow Provisors member, he had just come from a client where their CEO has resigned. And so he was talking to me about this $20 million manufacturing company. What are they going to do to go find a replacement for this CEO who's resigned abruptly? And so we will then define what it is they must have in the way of a background and utilize our 50,000 person database, our direct research capacity, and the ability to source, and give them some choices to grow this $20 million company to several times that.
Yeah, to reach new heights. And sometimes getting a new CEO or getting a CEO that resigns and getting a new one in there adds new possibilities to the organization, because now you can tailor what your dreams and aspirations are as an organization or a board of directors and hire the right person for those dreams and aspirations.
The boards, the owners, they oftentimes get locked in and seeing it too closely, so they don't know what they don't know. They don't see what they don't see. Another example, another Provisor's introduction. This was about 3 weeks ago. We got introduced to the lawyers who were providing services to the two owners. They have a CEO that they're not happy with. This is a software internet play, and they want to grow this $30 million company to over $100 million, and they want to get a new CEO. And so some of the musts are, you've been involved before with exit, with acquisition activity. You've been involved with private equity firms. And so the focus on that, here you are to bring a new CEO in and probably triple the top line as to what this organization's all about.
Because they know specifically what they want. Tell me give some tips, a couple tips. Someone's looking to use a firm such as yourself to outsource recruiting a CEO, CFO, manager, whatever it is. What are some things they should be looking for in hiring a firm to do that?
Well, I think before you hire a firm ought to be able to help you understand where your industry has been, the past, the current, the forward, your company's past, the present, the future. And now this subject position, what do you want it to do? What do you want it to do for you in those first few quarters? What results are you looking for? What kind of turnaround might there be? So you would try to shorten the bridge in terms of what this executive's background would be, so you're not taking as many chances. So finding a search firm, finding an individual that will pay attention to this business and personalize it by being an advisor, being a partner with you, is what we would do.
Yeah, that's important to find out the essence, the culture of your company, the culture of who you are, because you want to hire to that culture, and especially if it's a very positive culture you've taken years to develop.
That's right.
Yeah, very important.
I think the culture sometimes, people hire people who they know, they've been around, and so they plug them in. Quantitatively, if you're really clear on what the must should be from their background, and then culturally and qualitatively, how should their behavior work to really be a team player in that organization?
To be a part of it. Now, I know there's two distinct areas you work in, manufacturing and distribution, and also the professional services. Let's circle back down to the nonprofits.
Nonprofits, a great story from this morning. I attended a conference where my client, about $100 million nonprofit that's primarily throughout Southern California, we hired them, we helped them hire their CEO 8+ years ago. We've since also hired with them their CFO, their controller, their head of HR, and 2 or 3 other executives they had in the organization. So after the meeting, I had the pleasure of having further dialogue with the CEO, who said, stick around. I have a national organization where we're looking for a new CEO, and I want you to consider partnering with me
Right.
and be back in Washington, D.C. to talk about this in 2 weeks. So what a nice accolade. I mean, I felt awesome to have that go on with my client.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You look for other opportunities to continue to serve, and I think that's so important. You live in the area. You're a big supporter of foundations and of nonprofits here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Tell me some of the ones you're involved with.
2 of them especially. I've been a 20-plus year board member of the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
And more than half a dozen years with the College of the Canyons Foundation. So a labor of love, and really to pitch both of them. I think that's why our community is so awesome, because of what kind of a presence these 2 organizations have. So it's been a pleasure to serve both of them.
You know, that's one of the most important things when we talk about networking with provisors and we talk about being a great business person. I think one of the things that's part of your essence needs to be being involved in the community. And I think that's something that we have to teach our executives, our CEOs, our CFOs, our managers to get out there, because normally the person furthest from the customer is the ones at the top, and the ones closest to the customer, I think of a bank, a teller,
Yes.
is usually not going to all those events. So it's important the CEO gets a feel and he gets involved in the community.
That community, we have enjoyed it here for more than 25 years. Another search that we completed within the last year was the number 1 and the number 2 people at the local senior center. And that came from people within the community. We had the pleasure to provide that service.
What a fantastic senior center, too. I went there
Isn't
the
that
other
great?
day to drop something off, and they have the golf tournament coming up. Just a great organization. So, Gary, thank you so much for coming in. Those that want to reach you, how can they?
SaengerAssociates.com, that's S-A-E-N-G-E-R.
S-A-E-N-G-E-R, just
Yes,
get that right?
S-A-E-N-G-E-R Associates.com. And we're located here in Santa Clarita. It'd be a pleasure to make that connection.
Great, great. Whether you're accessing Gary locally on local TV or throughout the world on the internet, you're always available for anybody that really needs your expertise and advice.
It'd be a pleasure.
You're a true giver. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fred.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Saenger from Saenger Associates, and a local leader here with Provisors. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Out of the Rough. If you'd like to watch this online, go to scvtv.com, and you can also go to www.fredarnold.com. If you have some questions for me, or you'd like to be a guest, or you'd like to recommend a guest for our show, Out of the Rough, email me, fred@fredarnold.com. I hope you enjoyed this information, and until we speak again, I hope this information helped get you out of the rough. Thanks.